Goody everyone, this is Dayhawk bringing to you episode 57 of Shaman King 01. So this episode officially marks the end of the Shaman tournament, because Hao is going after it without winning the whole damn thing. And Hao and his group get together and he declares that the tournament is no longer needed. And then you have two patch members, Necrom included, and they officially join Hao's group. And Hao asks, like, have you gotten rid of your darkness, Necron? And he is in shock, like, I don't think I did, that sort of thing. Because we all know that poor Necron, has been having issues ever since his older brother got killed by Ren. And he is trying to suppress all that negative energy and not turn it into a vendetta towards Ren, which I don't blame him at all, to be honest. But that's why he sought help from the wrong people, especially now, because he has officially joined Hao, and Hao is giving him, hey, don't worry about it, because once I become king, darkness will no longer exist. And that's where Necron's like, oh, I've been saved, type of thing. And he tells Hal that I have a gift for you, and he leaves. And that's where we get to see Chocolove having this nightmare. And guess who wakes him up in the most brutal way? Tamayo. And you see there, I don't know what happened. I don't remember what caused Tamayo to react that way. But Chocolove wakes up, but he ends up losing confidence because Hal pretty much spooked him, because he's very powerful and he doesn't know if he himself has a chance to defeat him. And then we get to see John in a critical state, and Marco is losing his mind, asking where's the doctor, and then Faust pops out of nowhere and tells everyone, hey, I'm a doctor, and just creepily just goes after John. And the funny thing is that Marco and the other two X-Laws are like, what the hell are you doing? Stop! And then Eliza pops in and just told him to stop, and Faust is like, guys, chill, I'm a doctor. I will take care of her and that sort of thing. So that part, I admit, it was pretty funny. And then typical Chocolove is trying to make Tamo laugh, and guess what? Just like Pitorica, Tamo is laughing, and Chocolove is like, oh, I have another one. Thank God. Thank God. I wish that there was like a cutscene where every time Chocolove tells a joke, Ren and Horror gets this weird, eerie feeling. You know how in Japanese shows, if someone talks about them, the other character in this cutscene gets like, huh? Someone's talking smack about me? Did someone call out my name? That kind. I wish they would have added them, like, that would have been so funny. And then Ryu and Lyserg find each other, and you see Lyserg crying, and Ryu assumed that he is crying because he feels guilty for what he has done. And guess what? He wasn't. He's just crying about John, and he does not regret what he has done with Monta and the rest of the Yoh Yohs. I'm telling you, Lyserg is such a prick in this version. He's such a prick. And And the female ex-law, I forgot her name. I think it was Rena. I could be wrong, but overhears their conversation, and there's Morphine too. I don't know if Morphine has been following Lyserg ever since that awful exchange at the couple of episodes ago. And Ryu ends up leaving, and Reina is telling Lyserg that you need to go home. You're no longer needed. And Lyserg's like, wait, what are you talking about? I mean, I can still be of use. And Reina's like, just go home. Just go. And I believe the reason she did that is because Lyserg has an innocent soul. He's kind and is not meant to be a part of this whole mess. And he's just hell-bent on killing Hao, that he doesn't know what he's saying, I guess. But I mean, he's kind, yes, but after what he has done, I mean, he's not kind. Come on, he's not innocent in this. And so Rika just gives morphine over to Lyserg, tells him to go home, and typical Lyserg tells Morphine to don't come near me and stay away, and he ends up going on his way. Oh my god, I'm telling you, Lyserg is so much of a prick. Then in the next scene, Gowa has a meeting with his fellow patch members about what went down, and all of a sudden Hao pops in, captures him. Gova is, captures her, I believe. I could be wrong. And Hao ends up burning the patch members, and guess who pops up within the flames? Mikihisa and his serious face. I know you can't tell by the mask, but you can tell from this snapshot that he is serious. And Anna and Manta are trying to find Yoh, and Manta just mumbers underneath his breath, is like, you don't know where the hell Yoh is, don't you? And this is where the scene comes in, where just Anna gives him the evil eye, and just like, I'm sorry, please don't slap me. And then luckily Morphine comes in, and there was no slapping involved. And then we get to see Pirurika and Horo eating on the side of the road. And this thing is all about discovering how much Furyoku Horo has, which is over 9,000. But then when Horo decides to see how much Hao has, it's crazy. You can see his shock look, like, wait, it can't be. And then we go back to Hao versus Mikihisa, telling everybody to stand back, because if he ends up eating your spirits, he will become more powerful. And he feels that it's his responsibility after what happened during the whole birthing thing, remember? Because he was the one that he was going to kill Hao when he was a baby, but luckily the spirit of fire came in and rescued him. So Hao attacks Mikihisa, but it was all an illusion, and Mikihisa rescued Gova. And then we get to this scene with Tao Jun and Ren, and he overheard Hao's conversation with Yoh that he is going after the Great Spirit, and I'm not gonna stand by and let that happen. And then that's when Necron comes in and has this talk that made Ren go all ballistic. Necron tells Ren, I found a way that you can repent. Please join Hao. And that's how you can repent. And he said, no, there's no way in hell. And then that's where Necron, in a way, twists the dagger. Necron knows that Ren has this desire to defeat Yoh. And he offers Ren that if you join Hao, he will give you powers that only you can dream of. And then once you have that power, you could defeat your rival. And that made Ren upset because he's been training, he read the tome, he is strong, but he doesn't feel, and Necron throwing that offer feels that, wait a minute, so as much as I've gained so much experience, I'm still not powerful enough to defeat Yoh. And that's when Chocolove and Faust comes in, and Necron leaves, and then Ren has this not meltdown, but he's really upset that he is on the ground, punching the ground and feeling frustrated. So Necron really preyed on his emotions there. And it leads to, if I remember correctly, yes. Ryu meets up with Horo, and they had this mini tug of war because, what they discovered about House Ryoku, but Horo made this mini speech that regardless how powerful he is, I need to see it through to the very end. And I don't remember if he also heard the speech, but regardless if he heard the speech or not, he will finish what he has started. And more importantly than that, help his friends out. And that's like, yeah, Horo, you're pretty cool. And then we cut into the scene where Yoh is eating somebody's watermelons. He discovered a watermelon patch somewhere, and he assumed that it was the person who owned the patch, and he's like, oh, I'm sorry, I got super hungry. If I had the money, I will pay you back, don't worry about it. And guess what? It wasn't the person who owned the watermelon patch. It was Anna and Manta. And Yoh just spits out the seeds at them, and Manta's like, yo, this is not a good look. This is not a good look on you, stealing watermelons. And then Anna ends up punching him. And then after the whole watermelon thievery, I guess, Yoh and Anna had this personal talk that the shaman fight is over, at least for now. We need to stop Hao from stealing the Great Spirit. And Anna gives him her blessing. And remember your goal. Well, my goal is to become the wife of a shaman king. So do not fail me. Get the Great Spirit either with the tournament or without. Just do it. And the cool part, after the conversation, the Yoh Yohs reunite. And then back to the patch headquarters, you see Hao was about to eat Mikihisa's his spirits, but then Necron and a couple other patch members are telling him that Yoh is on his way here. And Hao was like, wait a minute, is this all a distraction to get my brother here? Wow, really? And then the Spirit of Fire grabs Mikihisa and burns his legs, and then he goes away. Yeah, he goes away. And so the Yoh Yohs and the Patch meet up. Mikihisa is he lives, but his legs are not. And Pitarika asks Gova that, hey, like, is this true about Hao's Furyoku? And Gova confirms it's true. He has over like 1,000,000 in terms of Furyoku. And everybody was shocked. And they figured, wait a minute, so there's no way in hell that we are able to defeat Hao? Like, the tournament's already set then. Because with that amount of Furyoku, I mean, you're OP. You automatically, be king at that point. You could easily defeat anybody with that because it's like how much mana you use up, and how can just use at least a little bit of that Furyoku amount and still come out on top, which kind of sucks. And so after the whole situation, Hao is going through these tunnels leading to the place where the Great Spirit resides, and Yoh asks Silva, hey, can you leave me there and we will stop Hao? And he drops the Oracle Bell on the ground. Gova assumed that wait a minute, so you don't want to participate in the tournament anymore? No, that's not it. It's more temporary. Let us deal with Hao, and hopefully we still have a tournament left over. So Yoh, Faust, Torohoro, Ryu drop their Oracle Bells to the ground, except for Ren, and Silva and Kareem leads them in the tunnels that leads to the Great Spirit. And then all of a sudden, Ren, tells Yoh, hey, before we go any further, I need to tell you something. And he ends up going into battle mode and challenges Yoh that we need to deal with this right now. I challenge you to this duel, and you see at the very end, the final scene, Ren and Bison towering Yoh, and that's the end. That's the end of the episode, guys. I feel that Necron really got into Ren, and that's when he decided, you know what, screw it. I'm just going to challenge Yoh and see how it goes. Because his defeats, I think he never let them go, because it must have like hurt his ego, his pride a lot. And of course we all knew that if the tournament were still on and Team Ren and Harafuda Springs were meet up, then he will have the luxury to battle him and see how that goes. But since the tournament has been suspended for now, it's like figured, okay, you know what, let's just do this. It's now or never, and we'll see what happens there. But it's just bad timing, how it's already ahead, and Jesus, man, it's just, but fine, Ren, fine. I still love you. So as you see, nothing really much happens. It's just it felt like almost a recap, and also gathering the Yoh Yohs together to make this final stand against Hao, and the discovery of how much Furyoku he has, and Lyserg still being a prick. Other than that, that's it. It's a great episode to start off the final. How much? Like 5 episodes left. Because I saw the preview, it's gonna get really ugly, really fast. All right, guys. Did I miss anything? What is it that you like about this episode? Did you dislike it? Whatever it is, put it in the comments down below. Give a like if you like it. Give a dislike if you don't. Please subscribe if you like my work. And if I didn't say anything about the episode, it's a good starter. And that's it. I will see you all on the other side of Oblivion, guys. Johnny!